Welcome to the Geoengineering Report, where we identify the threat in the skies.
A rare winter storm is sweeping through the south. That storm bringing dangerous cold and potentially record-breaking snowfall.
The historic snow that's falling in the south.
Houston definitely does not normally look like this.
The Lake Charles area is under a blizzard warning for the first time ever in history. So certainly an historic event.
And it's never snowed like this.
Never like this. This is unprecedented for sure.
Have you noticed a change in the snow patterns in your area? In recent years, winter weather oddities have occurred in unexpected places with little alarm from mainstream media. So the question is, are we living in an engineered snow globe? Our expert Dane Wigington explains what's happening.
Right, let's talk about snow for a bit, because a few people have been writing in about the snow. Can they make it snow anywhere, wherever they want? Can they do that? And also they want to know what really is in the snow, because they've noticed things like animals they used to sort of like eat snow are just not having anything to do with it anymore. Tell us about snow.
Great questions all the way around. The short answer to your first question is yes. They can create frozen precipitation within a wide range of conditions where it would normally never occur. We see many effects. We see an endless parade of traffic accidents now, because within this mix of aluminum, barium, strontium, manganese, polymer fibers, graphene, we have also surfactants. Surfactants are used in climate engineering operations to keep these particles from coagulating, from sticking together as they're dispersed. Surfactants are what makes soap soap. So we have incredibly slick, often heavy, clumpy, frozen material that we're told is naturally nucleated snow, which it isn't. So the traffic accidents are off the scale. We see 100+ car pileups all the time. People who thought they knew how to drive in snow that now can't navigate anywhere because it's so incredibly slippery. And about the animals, there's devastating effects. And this frozen material forms a crust. We've seen pictures, images, Polly, of, for example, waterfowl on a lake, literally hundreds frozen on the surface. They're dead and frozen on the surface. Chemical ice nucleating elements are so incredibly powerful. For those that, again, I challenge them to think of their first aid kit, sits on a shelf at room temperature for decades, and you mix the chemical concoction together within that first aid kit for a cold pack, and you have ice instantly. And that's exactly what's occurring on an unimaginable scale. So they can freeze water surfaces. We see animals crossing rivers like elk or moose in certain cases that froze out there. They just froze solid in the ice. We see caribou herds, Polly, in the Arctic, 1 million strong. Caribou herds that were 1 million strong that now are down to 1,000 or 2,000. Total crash because they can't hoof through the ice anymore. It's a frozen solid surface and they can't get to their feet anymore. And again, it's profound. We have the pronghorns. There you go. That's another recent example. And we have much bigger examples. We have a case in South America of thousands of alpacas dying from flash freezes. Alpacas are very cold hardy. 100,000 cattle died in the U.S. I think we've talked about that before, from a flash October 4 snowstorm while it was 85 degrees and raining in Chicago and 89 degrees and raining in Kansas City. So this is winter weather warfare. It's weather warfare, period. But in the case of the chemical nucleating elements, it's winter weather warfare.
And I would think the moral of the story is do not let your children eat the snow. In my day, everybody ate snow. You
don't eat the snow. The snow is toxic. It's toxic. Yeah.
That's a really sad childhood thing that you can't do anymore. Do not eat the snow. Wash your hands if you're building a snowman. It's that bad.
It is. It is. And we see the effect on the flora as well, Polly. Forests are completely imploding everywhere. And we have the official, and I'm talking about boreal forest now. Of course, we have the tropical forest. The Amazon is all but done. I mean, they've dried that out. Again, there's different processes of climate engineering. In the case of the Amazon, they're cutting off precipitation. So the Amazon, you can literally walk across the Amazon River in places. And 75 or 78,000 fires in the Amazon this year. And people have no idea what's going on while they're watching political circus. So the bottom line is, again, with these operations, this is completely out of control. And although we've had cooperation between governments, covert cooperation, even between otherwise adversarial governments in the past. Now that we have an unraveling of civilization, that's exactly what it is. Now we are likely seeing infighting. So the atmosphere is not just being used as a physics lab, it's a battlefield between countries that have these technologies and are using them against each other. How long are we going to live when we utilize Earth's vast life support systems as a battleground? Again, we're in a very, very short timeline. I cannot express that with enough urgency.
We would love to hear from you. Please send your images and questions to goodmorning@chd.tv. Thanks so much for watching the Geoengineering Report. We'll see you next time on CHD TV.